It was even hard for me to climb a flight of stairs. I'd be out of breath and would have to rest. Here's where I started. I was 433 pounds. Today I'm going to talk about my fitness journey. I've been on this journey for quite a while, and for the most part, I've done pretty well. But I've had a few setbacks along the way. About 6 or 6.5 years ago, I was completely miserable. I was always sore, and I could hardly do anything that I wanted to do. It was even hard for me to climb a flight of stairs. I'd be out of breath and would have to rest. Here's where I started. I was 433 pounds. I was big, really big. I finally got tired of being so miserable, and I decided to make a change. The first thing I did was go and get a gym membership so I could start walking on the treadmill. I just needed to move a little bit. I also tried several different diets, but I hated them all. I decided that if I really wanted to make this work, I was going to have to make a complete lifestyle change. I started this lifestyle change by cutting fast food, junk food, and soda. I moved on to eating mostly whole foods, trying to stay away from the highly processed foods. This worked for a little while, then I needed to make my diet a little stricter, so I started watching how many calories I was consuming. And honestly, that worked for the longest time. I just tried to stay under 2,000 calories a day. And that can work as long as you are burning more calories than what you are consuming. What I found that ended up working for me was a high protein, low carb, and moderate fat diet. It just worked. It might work for you, it might not. It's just experiment, give everything a try. And when I'm talking low carb, I'm not keto low carb, but still low carb. After a year hard work, I was down 100 pounds. I felt a ton better and could move and do a whole lot more things without being tired and sore all the time. So I continued on my journey, kept eating healthy, and kept exercising. And I continued on this path for another year just to see what kind of progress I could make. At the 2-year mark, I was down 146 pounds. I weighed in at 287 pounds. That's quite a big difference from 433. I felt great. I could pretty well do anything I wanted. I was in the best shape I had ever been in my life. To get to this point, I was going to the gym at least 6 days a week. Yes, 6 days a week. If it's going to work, you have to make exercise a habit. It has to be part of your day pretty well every single day. And I continued working out just like I was. I was maintaining my body weight. I wasn't gaining anything. I wasn't really losing anything either. And part of that reason for not losing any more was I wasn't being so strict on my diet like I should have been. I was letting myself indulge a little bit and have some junk every so often. And then 2020 came around and everything shut down. When the gym I was going to shut down, it made getting my workouts in a whole lot harder. I didn't have any kind of gym equipment at home. And at that point in time, I couldn't afford to just go out and buy it. Even if I wanted to buy it, almost all of it was out of stock because everybody else already had the same idea. So I did as much as I could. I was trying to get my cardio in by walking and jogging. And I was trying to get my weightlifting in by doing different bodyweight exercises. This was working for about a few weeks to a month. Then I just started exercising less and less, and my diet started to slip a little bit more. And then eventually, I fell completely off the wagon. I wasn't exercising, and I was eating junk food again, and fast food, and I was drinking a bunch of soda. Fast forward to this year, I had gained a whole bunch of weight back. I jumped right back up to 384 pounds. And this year, I decided enough was enough. It was way past time to get healthy and get back in shape so I could go back to enjoying being outdoors, hiking, mountain biking, doing whatever I wanted. Between the shutdowns of 2020 and this year, there was quite a bit that happened in my life. I ended up getting married, we sold our house, I moved from the city out into the absolute middle of nowhere. I also changed careers completely. I was working in IT, now I'm a truck driver. You may ask why? All I can say is, in this area, IT doesn't pay very well. And it's way too stressful. Like I said, when I moved into the middle of nowhere. I'm out on 5 acres and I only have 2 neighbors. There's nothing around here whatsoever. There's no gyms. There's no nothing. If I want to go to a gym, I've got to drive 15 or 20 minutes. And it's a small gym, doesn't even have all that great of equipment. Has some of it's nice, but it's not what I was used to living in the city. This time around, I decided I was going to go visit my doctor and talk to him about weight loss medications. I was actually going to give one of these prescription weight loss medications a try. The medication I settled on was Wegovy. It seemed to have the best results with minimal side effects. And so far, I haven't had any issues with it. It works great. I also went this route because with my career change, I had better health insurance. And my insurance covers it. So I went ahead and got it. I started taking this medicine. I went back, started eating healthy, cut out all the junk and the soda and everything else, and just went back to eating whole foods and started exercising again. The catch with the exercising part, I had to bring the gym into my house. So I bought some used equipment, a used treadmill, an elliptical, a weight bench that's adjustable, some adjustable free weights, and some resistance bands. That's really all I need. I did end up dedicating an extra room in the house to being a gym. Some people can do that, some can't. It just makes it so much easier for me to be able to get my workouts in. Especially with my new career, I have an hour commute each way to work. And my workday is typically anywhere between 10 and 14 hours. That's not counting the commute. You still have to add in an hour on each side of the commute. I could potentially be away from my house for up to 16 hours. That pretty well leaves almost no time left in the day to sleep, let alone work out. So I needed my gym as close to me as I possibly could. And that's inside the house. So I started wegovy in April of this year. Like I said, I weighed in at 384 pounds. Today, about 6 months later, it is currently October when I'm filming this, I'm sitting at 325.2 pounds. That's 325.2 pounds. I'm down 58.8 pounds from April. That's a pretty good start. It's actually quite a bit faster than when I started at 433 and I was doing this all without any kind of prescription weight loss medication. So I can say, if you can get prescription weight loss medication covered by your insurance, go for it. It works. I'm a prime example of that. But I'll warn you, these are not miracle drugs. You do have to make the lifestyle change. Because if you don't, it's not going to work. You might lose 5 or 10 pounds and that's going to be about it. And as soon as you stop taking it, you'll put it back on plus more. If you actually make the lifestyle change, you'll be able to keep it off even when you stop taking the medication. One of my new hobbies I decided to pick up since doing this is running. Yeah, I said running. I've never been a runner. I've never really liked it, but I've decided I'm going to start running. For the last 6 weeks or so, I've been focusing on going running a lot more. Mainly I'm doing it on my treadmill due to the hot weather and just time. Since I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, the road I live on, not a great road to run on unless I want to get run over by a truck. Because as you know, nobody pays attention while they're driving. Nobody. always on their phones. But since I started running, I am finding it kind of relaxing. I can kind of zone out, and if I'm wanting to listen to something on some earbuds, I can. In my home gym, I have a TV set up in front of my equipment, so I can watch TV. It just makes it easier. And if I'm watching TV, you just kind of zone out and you don't really notice how far you're going. So it really helps. And I'm going to continue doing this till I reach my goal weight. And I plan to continue doing it. Maybe I might get a little lighter than my goal weight. My goal weight that I'm shooting for is 240 pounds. I've still got a good little ways to go, but hopefully I can get there sometime next year. With my newfound hobby of running, I decided it was a great idea to enter myself into a 5K race. I more or less wanted to get a baseline time that I could continue to improve upon. And I set another goal, not to come in last. So this past weekend, I ran the 5K. I finished it. Time wasn't the greatest. I finished with a time of 55 minutes, 5.3 seconds. The great thing was I did accomplish one of my goals. I didn't finish last. I finished 45th out of 50. And to continue to push myself, I'm going to go ahead and enter another 5K race towards the end of November. And I'll see if I can improve upon my time. I should be able to. I've got plenty of time to continue training for it. Hopefully, I can be another 10 or so pounds lighter or 15 pounds lighter. That'll help. Every little bit helps. After the 5K next month, I'm going to continue to find some 5Ks or some other races to enter into just to make sure I'm still pushing myself to improve my time. And you never know, maybe sometime next year I might be able to do a half marathon or a full marathon. You never know. And you won't know unless you push yourself to do that kind of stuff. So why am I going into all of this? I just wanted to share my story so more people might decide to make the decision to start getting healthy and exercising. I can guarantee you that you will feel better and you will be happier. That's a guarantee. The only thing in the way of your success is yourself. So push yourself out of the way and just get started. It just takes getting started. That's all it takes. If I can go from 433 pounds all the way down to 287, yeah, I fell off the wagon. I gained a bunch of it back. Yeah, that's my fault. But I plan on getting back below that weight. And I will get back below that weight. That's a guarantee. So if I can do it, you can do it. It doesn't matter if you need to take a prescription weight loss medication or not. You can do it with it or you can do it without it. It doesn't matter. Just get up and do it.